Okay, here it goes. We're going live, everyone. We are going live right now. Okay, you guys can't see that, so that's good. Alrighty. Will this fit? No, it's not gonna fit. Alrighty, here we are. We are on day 6. Let me put on some music. Oh. Alrighty. Waiting for... Oh no, you don't want to attach to that. Oh yeah, I'm not doing Spotify, I'm doing... Hi, welcome to stream, welcome to day 6. I'm just getting started here. La 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 la, let's see. Hopefully it's attached to the thing. Okay, Bluetooth. Connected to the audio box. We are live. I'm looking for the same song we listened to together. Okay, we're going to take some breaths, get acquainted. Oh, how are we looking? Alrighty. Let's tie our hair today as well. How are y'all doing tonight? Hi James, I'm glad you could join us today. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to just calm down a little bit. How's the audio, guys? Oof. Today was a very interesting day for me. Happy day 6, everyone. Welcome to July 30. Oh my gosh, is it July 30th, 2019. It is a Tuesday. And today we're going to be focusing on stories. So, 6-year-olds, you go into first grade or you're still in kindergarten and you learn how to read books. And so today I wanted to share some of the books that I've been reading and dabbled on and have really enjoyed reading while going through a lot of different things in life and when I just wanted to get an escape. So books have helped me do that. So I want to share some of the books that have helped me go through that. These books actually, I don't have all of them because I tend to read different books at the same time. But I have a couple here that I want to share with you guys. So I have, let's see. Yeah, I have a couple. But before we get into that, I just wanted to have a moment and just be still for a bit. So today we got started a bit later than usual. I know that we've been doing it around like 9 p.m. but now it's an hour later. I got to teach my sister how to do some of my ab and core workout, and that kind of held us up a bit. So, but yeah, hi guys. How are you guys doing? Oh, my day was good. It's cooling down. Weather-wise, it's cooling down here. It's really nice. I had a full day I spent it with my sister. We did a lot of stuff together. Did more errands. It's been a long day, but I'm glad we're here today right now together. Today's 6, we made it. We're alive together right now, so I'm happy for that. So yeah. Okay, so now that the song has ended, that's my cue to do the next thing. Let me play some piano for you guys, and then we'll get started with our storytelling and books. So let's do this. I haven't played piano today, so this is my first time doing it with you guys. So here, hold on. I want to make sure my legs don't show. Let's see. Hi, if you just joined, thanks for joining in today. Today is day 6. I will be focusing on the theme of stories, and I'll be sharing some of my favorite books with you guys and reading some of them for you guys in Korean and in English. So here it goes. And let me know if the audio is okay or if it's too much, and I'll fix it as we go. Okay, let's do this. Okay. By the way, I forgot something really quick. I need to share the link with my group chat. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Got it. Did it. Done. Got it. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's do this. Happy Tuesday. Okay, turn it off. Off. Okay, so hi everyone. Hi, for those of you joining in, we are here on day 6. To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that we have made it this far. And for myself, like I'm like really proud of myself because I was a little bit scared that I wouldn't be able to do it. But I'm like really proud of myself. So I'm really glad you guys are here on this journey with me. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite books with you guys. There is a favorite book of mine from this year that I just stumbled on when it just came out, and it's one of the reasons why I got to go visit New York for the first time in February to meet the author. She was actually a longtime blogger, and I have been from time to time I've been reading her blogs, and she writes about all different disciplines and how they all conglomerate into one answer, understanding the world. And so I thought her perspective was really refreshing, and I loved how she posted she posted blogs every other day, and I happened to stumble on one of her emails that she sent out about her book tour, and it's for this book. So this I got in person, and it was signed directly by her, and this book cover has a very significant meaning to it too. This book is called Figuring by Maria Popova. If you've heard of her, please let me know in the chat. If you haven't, please also let me know in the chat. But she's such... when I think of her as like a woman Einstein of our generation. So I'm really... this is so cool. But anyways, this is a limited edition from her, and let me just give you a little tour of the physicality of this book. So here, let me see if anyone's saying anything. Okay, so this is from this was written these are little inscriptions, and these are really important symbols that have been written by the first woman. She chose this for a very specific reason, but anyways, we'll get to that in a bit. First page, that's her signature, guys. I don't know if I'm supposed to show that, but it's a book called Figuring. I'll read some of it for you guys. I have some notes in here, but I want to share with you. Oh my god. So I have two of these books. One of them is this, and the other one I have somewhere, but that's the one that I'm reading. This one I haven't read out of yet. But this, if you could see, the chapters are written in poetry form. So let me actually read this part for you guys, because I think it's amazing what she did. So each chapter is actually a string of poetry. It all adds up. And this book is about figuring out the foundations of how you understand the world, which I think is such a dense read, but it's such a privilege that someone was able to put this all into one book. Okay, so let me read this part. Only the dreamer wakes to find dismooned among... Okay, wait, hold on. This is a little disturbing. I'm just gonna put this here. Okay, whew. Okay, I'm gonna read this part. Only the dreamer wakes to find dismooned among the stardust what is lost and what is gained of the infinite in the finite. Okay, try to pick up on the contrast she uses. Watch. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. Only the dreamer wakes to find dismooned among the stardust what is lost and what is gained of the infinite in the finite, to the figure and transfigure the much that calls for more, to brave the light of the world, that which exhausts and exalts, nearly the beautiful, divided indivisible, between sinew and spirit, between art and life, the banality of survival. Let me repeat that. The banality of survival, shadowing the light of immortality, to gaze and turn away, from romance to reason, from terror to transcendence, unmastering the heart's circumference, bound by neither mind nor matter, in the darkness of being, searching for totality. Into the unfathomed where splendor dwells, to live and to vanish, between the scale of atoms and the scale of worlds. I'll read that again. To live and to vanish, between the scale of atoms and the scale of worlds, between the time of monarchs and the time of stars, tracing the thread of being from shoreless seas to stardust. Okay, so that's like really, really dense, so it actually helps, at least it did for me, like if you're actually looking at the words. It's just, look how she divided the, so, I don't know if you guys could read that, but it's just from the beginning of the book. We didn't even start reading the book. It was just like when I went to this book tour, not even having read this book because it just came out. But I went because I was really excited because I get to meet her. Ooh, I'm just gonna put this back here. But let me see the chat if anyone said anything. No, today is a very calm day, guys. I know it's a little bit late too, so I'm just gonna kind of get lost in what I want to read you guys. Let me read you guys something so you guys kind of know her tone. You could also find her blogs on her blog page called Brain Pickings. So you could kind of get a sense of the work she does. She does this as a hobby too, so you should just also check that out. Let me read this part for you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna read so you guys could listen in if you're still interested in this. Let's see. I wish I had my other book because it has all my like post-its on it. Let's see. Okay, this is one of my favorite quotes, and I read it in one of my videos that I made for this trip. Okay, this one will make sense. I'll just okay, I'll read the sentence, and I'll read the paragraph after I read this particular sentence, because yeah. Neither the spider has planned for the leaf, or the leaf for the spider, and yet there they are, an accidental pendulum propelled by the same forces that cradle the moons of Jupiter in orbit, animated into this ephemeral early morning splendor by eternal cosmic laws, impervious to beauty and indifferent to meaning, yet replete with both to the bewildered human consciousness beholding it. Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to read you the paragraph where it came from. Ooh. One autumn morning, as I read a dead poet's letters in my friend Wendy's backyard in San Francisco, I glimpsed a fragment of that atomic mutuality. Oh my gosh, I read that wrong, sorry. I'll do it again. One autumn morning, as I read a dead poet's letters in my friend Wendy's backyard in San Francisco, I glimpsed a fragment of that atomic mutuality. Mid-sentence, my peripheral vision, that glory of instinct honed by millennia of evolution, pulls me toward a miraculous sight. A small, shimmering red leaf twirling in midair. It seems for a moment to be dancing its final descent, but no, it remains suspended there, 6 feet above the ground, orbiting an invisible center by an invisible force. For an instant, I can see how such imperceptible causalities could drive the human mind to superstition, could impel medieval villagers to seek explanation in magic and witchcraft. But then I stepped closer and noticed a fine spider's web glistening in the air above the leaf, conspiring with gravity in this spinning miracle. So she talks about how she's just in her friend's backyard, and then she happens to have a quick glimpse of a spider's web, and then on the spider's web how it's on a leaf, and she's just focusing her attention on that existence. Like, how is it that that spider web was able to be connected with that leaf? Like, how is everything in its existence? Like, she sees it as a miracle and that she witnessed a miracle, and then she says all that in such a beautiful way by this sentence that I read you before this paragraph. Neither the spider has planned for the leaf, nor the leaf for the spider, and yet there they are, an accidental pendulum propelled by the same forces that cradle the moons of Jupiter in orbit. That's so beautiful. animated into this ephemeral early morning splendor by eternal cosmic laws, impervious to beauty and indifferent to meaning, yet replete with both to the bewildered human consciousness beholding it. Isn't that like such... It opens up the way she writes. This is just one part. Like the way she writes makes you feel so much more mindful of the like most simple things you see. Like, yeah. So another one. Let me share another one with you. So let's see. I wish I had my other book. Wait, I'm gonna check the chat. Okay, everyone's just like, what is she doing? I'm reading a book that I have enjoyed stumbling on and have had the privilege of stumbling on when it just came out. It's called Figuring by Maria Popova. I definitely think you guys should check it out. If not, there's like short segments available online if you could read it. Even a short segment I think is such a privilege to be able to like taste. But yeah, she is an author that now is in Brooklyn, and she's also a blogger. You guys should check her out. It's called Brain Pickings. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna read you this. We slice through the simultaneity by being everything at once, our first names and our last names, our loneliness and our society, our bold ambition and our blind hope, our unrequited and part requited loves. Lives are lived in parallel and perpendicular, fathomed non-linearly, figured not in the straight graphs of biography, but in many-sided, many-splendored diagrams. I just want you guys to take in how she kind of expands the way you think of the world. The perspective she takes is so meta, and she does it in a way where anyone could understand her. It's so tasteful, and I appreciate it so much, but okay. Lives interweave with other lives, and out of the tapestry arise hints at answers to questions that raise to the bone of life. What are the building blocks of character, of contentment, of lasting achievement? How does a person come into self-possession and sovereignty of mind against the tide of convention and unreasoning collectivism? I'm going to read that one again. How does a person come into self-possession and sovereignty of mind against the tide of convention and unreasoning collectivism? Does genius suffice for happiness? Does distinction, does love? Two Nobel Prizes don't seem to recompense the melancholy radiating from every photograph of the woman in the black laboratory dress. Is success a guarantee of fulfillment, or merely a promise as precarious as a marital vow? How, in this blink of existence, bookended by nothingness, do we attain completeness of being? I'm going to read that one more time. How, in this blink of existence, bookended by nothingness, do we attain completeness of being? There are infinitely many kinds of beautiful lives, and I think that's such a beautiful way to summarize existentialism, and it honors pessimists, but it also honors the humanistic approach. Wow, what am I doing? I don't know. Guys, today is a very chill day. Okay, we have James in the chat, we have Mark in the chat, and we have M in the chat tonight. Hi guys, thanks for joining us today. It's day 6, we did it. Today I'll be reading some, not passages, but I'm reading like some of my favorite, from one of my favorite books, and I'm going to share other books that I really like. I'll be getting to really fun books like The Rules of Work, and I got this from the Strand bookstore in New York. It was $1. And my friend, we found it together, Zara, and she gave it to me because she was like, girl, you could borrow it, but I think she gave it to me, so we're gonna go through this too. I think it's so funny, hilarious, but actually really chill. Anyways, we'll go over that. Anyways, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. I'm gonna read the chat, so too many big words. Just read up on Immanuel Kant's catechism. Yes. It's really interesting because I really like reading these types of stuff where it picks up on like the way people think or like the way humans think or like on the meta, and like people who try to put that into words and articulate it into words. It's so tasty. Like if reading is tasty, I didn't realize reading was a delicious experience until like I think not until I was in like ninth grade, and I'm not even joking. No, actually seventh grade when we read How to Kill a Mockingbird. Like I actually understood that. Um, when I grew up, do you guys have this experience? Like when I grew up, I knew how to read, and I had this like competitive part of me where I wanted to read really fast. Like when we do popcorn reading in class, where you read out loud in class all together as a class for a book or a textbook or something. I remember like I would be really competitive and I want to read really fast. But then the thing is, it doesn't really matter because I don't know what the heck I read. I don't know how I got through grade school because I read books, but I read it for the sake of reading. I didn't know what the heck I was reading. Like yeah, I don't know how I got through grade school, but it didn't click until like, this is gonna sound really bad, but I didn't know how to actually read and comprehend until like junior high. And so the deliciousness experience came indirectly when I was in grade school, when I was read two. But when I had to read on my own, my experience was I was literally just reading the words of the book or the magazine or whatever it was I was reading, but I never really understood it or comprehended. Did you guys have that experience? And I didn't actually have an experience with a book on my own until junior high. But yeah. Okay, I guess you guys didn't have that experience, but yeah, I had that experience. So it really excites me when I find a book that I'm actually able to like dive right into, and now I'm able to do that because I've gotten practice of it. But I don't know how I got through grade school for reading. Like it, if I was read two, it's fine. But okay, so this book again is called Figuring. You guys should check it out. And the author is actually a blogger. She writes on multiple disciplines, answering the question of whatever she's focused on answering. And it's really interesting the way she writes, and like I read, it's very delicious. Like the way she presents, the perspective she has of the world is so beautiful and so dense, but she does it in a way that you're able to understand. Let me read something one more for you guys. Here, let's do this. Da, 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 da. So this book goes over everything from like love to like answering. Oh wait, let's do this. Blah, blah, blah. Do I? Yes. Yes. Or I guess stay in. Let's see. Why don't I read you? So at the book tour, she actually read us the first sentence, which actually is like 2 pages long. Did you know a sentence could be 2 pages long? This woman makes it happen. Okay, let's do this. Should I do this? I'll do it, okay, because it was such an experience. Okay, close your eyes, everyone, if you're tuning in. Close your eyes. Just listen to my voice. All of it. The rings of Saturn and my father's wedding band. The underbelly of the clouds pinked by the rising sun. Einstein's brain bathing in a jar of formaldehyde. Every grain of sand that made the glass that made the jar. And each idea Einstein ever had. The shepherdess singing in the Rila Mountains of my native Bulgaria, and each one of her sheep, every hair on Chance's velveteen dog ears, and Marianne Moore's red braid, and the whiskers of Monaghan's cat, every translucent fingernail on my friend Amanda's newborn son, every stone with which Virginia Woolf filled her coat pockets before wading into the river Ouse to drown, every copper atom composing the disk that carried Ares abroad, the first human-made object to enter interstellar space, and every oak splinter of the floorboards onto which Beethoven collapsed in the fit of fury that cost him his hearing, the wetness of every tear that has ever been wept over a grave, and the yellow of the beak of every raven that has ever watched the weepers, every cell in Galileo's fleshy finger, and every molecule of gas and dust that made the moons of Jupiter to which it pointed, the dipper of freckles constellating the olive firmament of a certain forearm I love, and every axonal flutter of the tenderness with which I love her, all the facts and figments by which we are perpetually figuring and reconfiguring reality, it all banged into being 13.8 billion years ago from a single source, no louder than an opening note of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, no larger than the dot levitating over the small eye, the eye lowered from the pedestal of ego. So that was one sentence, and that was just talking about the Big Bang, but in the context of how we understand the beginning of geniuses bringing these necessary discoveries for us to advance as human species. Isn't that so freaking mind-blowing? That's so weird. Okay, and then I'm going to read you one more paragraph from this book, and then I'm going to go on to other books that are less dense, but also good. How can we know this and still succumb to the illusion of separateness, of otherness? This veneer must have been what the confluence of accidents and atoms known as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. saw. I'm going to do this again. How can we know this and still succumb to the illusion of separateness, of otherness? This veneer must have been what the confluence of accidents and atoms known as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. saw through when he spoke of our inescapable network of mutuality, what Walt Whitman punctured when he wrote that every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. When I read that, it was like mic drop. Every time I read something of her, it's like a mic drop moment. Did you guys say anything? Oh, you're making everyone sleep here. Oh my gosh, I'm just sharing something that I have like really been obsessed with, and her writing is just so delicious because it's so refreshing in that the way she presents the world, like I said before, her perspective is so beautiful and so dense, but it's so beautiful and I appreciate it so much. So wow. Okay, so we're gonna go to, I want to share this book with you. So I have been before, searching things online with your phone have been a thing. Like in junior high, I remember, because I really loved finding synonyms and finding ways to creatively and kind of refreshingly describe my thinking and whatever. Like, I have been carrying around this little tiny thesaurus in my backpack since junior high. I mean, when I was in school. And I just want to share that with you guys because it's like an antique from my life, and it's so old. And I remember I got this from I think I got it from a library, because you know how when libraries have old books that they sell for like 50 cents or something? I remember I got this because I really liked the color of it, and I liked that it was hardback because I tend to have a lot of things in my backpack. And yeah, so this is a thesaurus, so I would like look up words and be like, oh, like what can I say for mood? So then there's like behavior, conduct, disposable frame of mind, humor. Like, I would love using this thing. I would love like looking stuff up with my hands and like looking and like touching. But yeah, this is something from my grade junior high and up. This book is Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. When I started to actually understand what the heck I was reading on paper, this is one of the books that I fell immediately into. If you guys remember, I loved having these books too. My neighbor, it was Aaron's nanny, It was when I was in like, how old was I? How old was I? I think I was like 11? No, not 11. I don't know. Like, when I was young in grade school, this was one of the books that I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be an adult and I'm gonna read through this book on my porch. And I remember the neighbor that we lived next to, they also had kids, and their grandma would always also watch us. And she would always have these really thick fiction books, and they look like this. And I remember she would always be, you know, like smoking her cigarette or her, what was she smoking? Like cigarettes? No, they weren't cigarettes. I think they were cigars or something. She would always be in the porch watching us play, like riding our bikes, rollerblades. And she would always be like going through these like thick fiction books. And I think she was reading more like romance stuff. It wasn't Nicholas Sparks. But I remember like I've always admired her, like being on the porch reading. I remember this was the first book that looked like the books that she read that I got. And I think I got this from, I think it was Barnes and Nobles. But anyways, like I remember like going through this book in one sitting, and I was like, oh my god, like how did I do that? But yeah, remember this. But yeah, it's so old. But I had this, and it was laying around because I'm at my parents' place. So, are you guys saying something? Oh no, no one really cares about books, do they? I don't know. This is a Korean book that has been in our family for the longest time. It's called Little Prince. I thought I had this since I was in, oh my gosh, it's the same time around A Walk to Remember era. It was when we lived in that big house. My mom brought this when she went back to Korea for her surgery. It was, I don't know how old I was, but I remember what time, but I don't know how old I was. But anyways, but I didn't get this when I was really young. My mom just brought it because she brought all these Korean books from Korea for us to learn how to read in Korean. And so I'm gonna read Korean for you guys. This is what Korean sounds like. Wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is also like a little dream of mine, to like read children's books to children. Okay. 어린 왕자. 어린 왕자. Little Prince. Okay. Okie dokie. I haven't read this book in forever, so. And also, to give you guys preface, I learned Korean by my mom, and watching a lot of Korean dramas growing up, and Korean ballad songs, and just using it at home. So, and then I took like 2 courses for Korean in college. So this is my level of expertise here. Okay, let's read this. Why am I doing this? I don't know, guys, but let's do this. Okay, this is what Korean language looks like. If you guys see any block looking Asian language, it's Korean. Okay. 나의 그림, my shadow. In this context, I don't know if they're saying shadow, if they're saying illustration, but 그림 is illustration and also shadow. So let me know if you know what it actually means, if you're Korean in this chat. Okay. 나는 6살 때 책에서 멋있는 그림을 본 적이 있습니다. Can you guys hear me? I'll just do it over here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll just do it over here. You guys probably can't see, so I'll just put it over here. 나는 6살 때 책에서 멋있는 그림을 본 적이 있습니다. 그것은 보아뱀 한 마리가 동물을 삼키는 그림이었습니다. 위의 그림은 바로 그것을 옮겨 놓은 것입니다. Can you guys quiet, please? I'm reading. Thank you. My family's outside the door. Okay. 위의 그림은 바로 그것을 옮겨 놓은 것입니다. So basically this paragraph I just read, it says 나는 6살 때 책에서 멋있는 그림을 본 적이 있었습니다. when I was 6 years old, I remember seeing 멋있는? 멋있는 is handsome. I remember seeing a handsome drawing. 그것은 보아뱀 한 마리가 동물을 삼키는 그림이었습니다. sorry. So Korean language, it has the 우리가 동물 삼키고 그림이었습니다. So you know how we say like the dog ran away. Koreans would say like the language itself, literally, it would be the flip side of it. So it would be like we say hold on, that's actually not a good example. Oh my gosh, I'm like confusing myself right now. Let's just get back to the translation. 그것은 보아뱀 한 마리가 동물을 삼키는 그림이었습니다. That illustration was of a snake eating another animal. This is not a children's... Okay, anyways. 위의 그림은 바로 그것을 옮겨 놓은 것입니다. 위의 그림은 바로 그것을 옮겨 놓은 것입니다. The drawing on the top is how it was moved. Okay, I'm like, this is like not the best book to like do translation work because it's kind of fiction and confusing. Okay, I'm checking the chat. Oh, hi, Danny. Oh, Danny is someone that... Wait, I don't know if I should disclose this because... Oh, it's okay. So, wait, is this the same Danny that I know? Because Danny I met at a job fair, and yes, I did try going to a job fair, and it was in San Francisco for UC alums. And, yeah. James wrote in the chat in Korean, he said, 한국말 잘 읽네. It means you're reading Korean well. Okay, this is not the best book to do translation work because it's actually even confusing as a Korean to understand it in Korean because it's such, like, Little Prince is all about, if you guys don't know the story of the Little Prince, it's all about imagination, and so it's kind of hard to understand in itself. But yeah, I love the illustration work here. This is what Korean books look like. There's some photos. Okay, anyways, there's that. Okay. This is a book that I have 2 copies of this. One, I got this copy finally from I got this last year, and I got it with my then boyfriend, and we went to this bookstore. No, we went to a library that was selling old books, I think, and we found this, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get that. So I got that. I wrote all my notes here, but I had a chance to meet the author Elizabeth Gilbert at the book tour in New York in February, and she's such a pleasant person. Oh my god, I'm not even joking. She was hugging everyone, and she was just so present with everyone. Anyways, if you guys didn't read Eat, Pray, Love, it's way better than the movie. It's so... Her writing also is very refreshing, but hers isn't dense. Hers is dense, but she does it more simply. So, okay, I'm gonna read you, since this one has notes in it. I'm going to read you. Is this the notes one? Yeah, it's the notes one. Okay, I'm gonna read this. This is when... So, how many of you guys have read this book or have watched the movie for this book, Eat, Pray, Love? It has Julia Roberts playing the part. Okay, if you have, let me know in the chat. But anyways, like, I read this book so many times over and over again in the months of December. I read it in December, and then I read it again in... Did I read it in January? I don't know if I read it in January, but I read this many times in the month of March. I revisited it. Uh, and then I picked it up again in the month of May. But yeah, each time I read it, I get a new insight. It's like you watch a Disney movie over and over again, but you get something new out of it. That's the experience I have with this book. And guys, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna read something to you that there's so many good things in here. Okay. Oh, basically, so this book is about a woman who has accomplished everything that a woman who dreams of being a writer could do. She was writing for like a lot of different news agencies, and she is a big time, like she's rich, she was married to a lawyer, and she was rich, she was living in New York, but something felt like wrong. She felt like, oh, like why am I so unhappy if I have everything that I've ever wanted, I've accomplished everything that I've wanted to do, why am I not happy? And the first thing she had to face was leaving the life she built for herself to find herself. And so she talks about how she goes through a divorce and how challenging that was because her husband didn't understand why she had to leave, and he just wouldn't let her go. And then she goes on this, because she has money, she's able to do this. She travels to find herself, and she travels to India. Wait, hold on, I don't want to get this wrong. She travels to oh my god, where is her? Oh yeah, it's in her preface. Hold on. She goes to Italy, and then she goes to, is it Bali next, or is it, hold on. She goes to Italy, then she goes to India, and then she goes to Indonesia. And okay, I'm gonna read you this part. This part will explain, like, okay, this part will explain everything. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. No, actually that's too much. Let's see. Yeah, but anyway, she finds herself at the end, and it shares how she found herself. And it's just such an incredible journey going through all of her thinking patterns and who she meets and how they've influenced her thinking and her breakthrough of finding herself. And it's just such a good book, guys. And no, it's not like a chick flick. Like, it's so good. It's all about spirituality, mindfulness, finding yourself. So I totally recommend the book. It's such a different experience than the movie. So I'm gonna read you this. Okay, I'm gonna check the chat. Sorry, I'm like getting carried away. No one's really saying anything. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read this. This is the type of voice she has, the tone of voice she has. So, let's see, where can I start? Okay, I resonated with this a lot, and maybe some of you will too. Let's see, where should I start though? When I get lonely these days. Okay, I'm gonna read from... Okay, I'm just gonna read this. Fudge. Okay. One obvious topic still needs to be addressed concerning my whole pursuit of pleasure thing in Italy. What about sex? To answer that question simply, I don't want to have any while I'm here. To answer it more thoroughly, and honestly, of course, sometimes I do desperately want to have some, but I've decided to sit this particular game out for a while. I don't want to get involved with anybody, of course I do, miss being kissed, because I love kissing. I complain about this so much to Sophie. Sophie is a friend she met in Italy. That the other day she finally said in exasperation, "For God's sake, Liz, if it gets bad enough, I'll kiss you." But I'm not going to do anything about it for now. When I get lonely these days, I think, so be lonely, Liz. Learn your way around loneliness. Make a map of it. Sit with it. For once in your life. Welcome to the human experience. But never again use another person's body or emotions as a scratching post for your own unfulfilled yearnings. See, like, do you see like how she has this tone throughout this? It's a kind of emergency life-saving policy more than anything else. I got started I got started early in life with the pursuit of sexual and romantic pleasure. I barely had an adolescence before I had my first boyfriend, and I have consistently had a boy or a man or sometimes both in my life ever since I was 15 years old. That was, about 19 years ago now. That's almost 2 solid decades I have been intertwined in some kind of drama with some kind of guy, each overlapping the next, with never so much as a week's breather in between. And I can't help but think that's been something of a liability on my path to maturity. Okay, now this is the part I wanted to read, but I wasn't sure if you guys are going to understand without the context of that. Oh, moreover, I have boundary issues with men. Or maybe that's not fair to say, to have issues with boundaries. One must have boundaries in the first place, right? But I disappear into the person I love. I resonated with this. I am the permeable membrane. If I love you, you can have everything. You can have my time, my devotion, okay, she says this, so I'm going to read it, but I don't usually say this. You can have my time, my devotion, my ass, my money, my family, my dog's money, my dog's time, everything. If I love you, I will carry for you all your pain. I will assume for you all your depths in every definition of the word. I was so able to resonate with that. I will protect you from your own insecurity. I will project upon you all sorts of good qualities that you have never actually cultivated in yourself, and I will buy Christmas presents for your entire family. I laughed at that because I did that. I will give you the sun and the rain, and if they are not available, I will give you a sun check and a rain check. I will give you all this and more until I get so exhausted and depleted that the only way I can recover my energy is by becoming infatuated with someone else. So this is the type of tone she has. Like when you read this, because this is a memoir of her journey, she honestly, vulnerably explains her journey throughout finding herself. And these are the types of thoughts she had as she was starting out her journey. And let me read something for you when she does, get grounded. And oh my goodness, I didn't know this was gonna be a book review. I was just gonna read some parts from. Okay, I'm gonna look at chat. James said he gets confused when he reads that book. Which book? This book? Do you get confused when you read this book? We have a new person in chat. Hi, Hugh. Is that how you say your name? I don't know what this is, but I'm just a poor little defensive, scared of hell. I am doing... If you guys are tuning in for the first time tonight, I'm glad you guys have made it. I am live here with you guys, present. My whole thing is just discovering, not discovering, but I am being present with people online. And I'm doing that because I want to share my joy. And it's a way for me to connect with other people, and I love sharing my joy. And I know everyone does, but I'm on a path of sharing my joy. So there we are. And I decided on my birthday, on my 28th birthday, to start this live stream challenge, to be on live for 28 days, and for each day of streaming, I focus on a theme or a topic of that age of that number. So today, for age 5, we focus on books and stories because... Oh, no, we're not on 5. I'm so sorry. 6. On day 6, we are focusing on books and stories because this is when... At that age, you're able to read books. And I thought it would be a great way to share a part of myself where I enjoy reading, and I wanted to share some excerpts from books that I have enjoyed reading and that have helped me on my journey to finding myself as well. So that's what this is. I'm glad you're here with us today. And as we do this, feel free to also pitch in. We're just being present together in joy and just being expressive, being present, being expressive. I have gone through so many things, both internally and externally, the past few months, and so this is kind of like a renewal period for me where I get to really put myself out there and try things that I wanted to do. I wanted to try live streaming. We're doing it. We're here together. Am I scared? I'm actually more comfortable doing it now. I feel I don't want to say I'm like not scared anymore, but I do feel a lot more relaxed being myself on camera and being present with you guys than I did the first day. So it's definitely a work in progress, but we're here, we're making progress. And I'm reading random things from books because they're not random, they're meaningful to me. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. But that's what this is. Oh, no. Okay, so I know like 6-year-olds may not be reading this book. I just wanted to focus on stories, right? Stories and books. And when I thought of that, I mind mapped that. I was just like, okay, well, I'll share books that I enjoy reading and stories that I enjoyed reading that have helped me go through something or that I have learned from. So that's what this is. Let me read something more positive. So when she gets through, let's see. I'm like reading stuff that I underlined. Let's see. Guilt's just your way. Okay, so no. Let's see. Okay, so of course, she meets a lot of strangers that becomes her friends, and they're also on a journey to finding themselves, and everyone's on their own path of healing and whatever. They're all older. After they've accomplished their careers, they've gone through a marriage, and they're just trying to find themselves. And so she's met these people serendipitously, like at meditation retreats or where she's staying at a neighbor. And she meets this friend, and this friend that she meets in India, I believe, he gives her, or I'll read this part for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I unfolded the piece of paper the plumber had given me. He had typed. Wait, hold on. Oh shoot, I'm trying to remember if this is. No, not that one. Okay. Go through her resolutions. Like maybe she. Okay. Oh my gosh, I really wish you guys had the experience I had when I read this book. I can't do it if I just read you like one paragraph. Oof. What's a good, just short thing that you guys could have a good takeaway from for this book? Oof. Okay. Oof. No. Jennifer, hurry up. Oh, okay, I wrote something here. Okay. Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm sorry, I know I'm like... Today we are reading things of my favorite, or excerpts from my favorite books that I have really helped me this year, and we're on Eat, Pray, Love right now. I'm just trying to find something that could kind of give you guys a takeaway for this book, a very positive one, not the one that I just read because it's like really frantic and it's a little sexual, and let's see. Hold on. Guys, I got this for you guys. I want you guys to have a good takeaway from this book, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, I think this is good. This is a good summary. Okay. No. Okay, I'm just gonna read this part because when I look back at the 4 years that elapsed between my marriage starting to fall apart and the day I was finally divorced and free, I see a detailed chronicle of total pain. And the moment when I came to this tiny island all by myself was the very worst of that entire dark journey. The bottom of the pain and the middle of it. My unhappy mind was a battlefield of conflicted demons. As I made my decision to spend 10 days alone and in silence in the middle of exactly nowhere, I told all of my warring and confused parts the same thing. We're all here together now, guys, all alone, and we're going to have to work out some kind of deal for how to get along, or else everybody's going to die together sooner or later. Which may sound firm and confident, but I must admit this as well, that sailing over to that quiet island all alone, I was never more terrified in my life. I hadn't even brought any books to read, nothing to distract me. Just me and my mind, about to face each other on an empty field. I remember that my legs were visibly shaking with fear. Then I quoted to myself one of my favorite lines ever from my guru. Fear? Who cares? And I just disembarked alone. And she's just so vulnerable, and like you're able to experience how she got to her resolution. And I wish there was a paragraph, like one simple paragraph that gives you that like resolution, but I can't really find it. It is at the end, but it doesn't make sense unless you read the whole like Italy chapter. Let's see. Oh my god, I want to give you guys the Okay, I'm just gonna read this too. Okay. I marked this on June 19th, 2019, it says. I also knew somehow that this respite of peace would be temporary. I knew that I was not yet finished for good, that my anger, my sadness, and my shame would all creep back eventually, escaping my heart and occupying my head once more. I knew that I would have to keep dealing with these thoughts again and again until I slowly and determinedly changed my whole life, and that this would be difficult and exhausting to do. But my heart said to my mind in the dark silence of that beach, I love you. I will never leave you. I will always take care of you. That promise floated up out of my heart, and I caught it in my mouth and held it there, tasting it as I left the beach and walked back to the little shack where I was staying. I found an empty little notebook, opened it up to the first page, and only then did I open my mouth and speak those words into the air, letting them free. I let those words break my silence, and then I allowed my pencil to document their colossal statement onto the page. I love you. I will never leave you. I will always take care of you. Those are the first words I ever wrote in that private notebook of mine, which I would carry with me from that moment forth, turning back to it many times over the next 2 years, always asking for help and always finding it, even when I was most deadly sad or afraid. And that notebook, steeped through with that promise of love, was quite simply the only reason I survived the next years of my life. Oh. So you could tell like from that she is such a feeler, and she admits that, and she owns it, and she finds a way to work through her emotions. She feels a lot, she loves a lot, she works through it, she finds herself, she finds love, and that's her story. And this isn't the only book she wrote. She wrote this a long time ago, like many years ago. But yeah, Elizabeth Gilbert, read the book. It's so good. It's such a good read. It's so good. What time is it? Are we good? We're good on time. Hi everyone. If you hi. Oh, we have a new person in chat tonight as well. Hi Ralph. Today is day 6 of the 28 live stream challenge, and today we're covering the theme of stories and books because 6-year-olds begin to read books. And I said this in the beginning of the stream, but I was one of those 6-year-olds that knew how to like literally read the words, but I didn't comprehend the words, and I didn't have the experience of having a delicious moment with books until I was in middle school, where I was able to actually understand what the heck I was reading while I was reading it. So yeah, I wanted to ask if you guys had the same experience as me with books. Another book that I love. This is actually a fiction book, but it's such an easy read. It's so good. This is called Still Me by Jojo Moyes. And they had a movie come out called Me Before You. I picked this book up at a airport. I didn't know that it was a sequel of the movie that I watched a couple years back. The movie was called Me Before You, and it stars, the main actress is from the Game of Thrones, Daenerys. And so, yeah, it's a really good movie. It's heartbreaking, but it's a really good movie. This is a sequel book for it. It's called Still Me. I'm going to read you a passage. I even hearted it right here from before. This book is of her. So, should I, I guess so. Okay, so, should I spoil it? I guess it's okay. So, in Me Before You, it's about this girl who takes care of a really affluent individual, and he lost his ability to use his arms and his legs, and so he needed a personal assistant. And so he, or his mom, hires someone, his assistant, hires someone who could take care of him 24/7 and keep him happy, like emotionally happy. And so this lady, she's in her late 20s, and she needed a job. Her family needed money, and so she got this job, and it was really difficult for her because she has this very exuberant, bubbly personality. And she comes home. She goes to this affluent individual's house, and he's very harsh with her, and he tells her why are you wearing clothes like that? It's too much. Why are you wearing clothes like that? Or why do you talk so much? Don't talk when you're around me. Or he was very harsh with her. But over time, they fall in love, of course. And should I give this away? But anyways, it's a sad ending. He ends up deciding to cut his life short, and so she is left with having she was madly in love with him, and he left. But they shared the last moment together, but he decided to leave Earth. And so this book is about her finding her self without him. But he also left her most of his inheritance, and he told her, Lou, you have to, live boldly, and you have to enjoy life. And she's never traveled before, so he says, oh, you should go here to, in Italy, you should go here, this is my favorite spot. So she does all this stuff through him, but she still doesn't feel happy. But it's about her finding her life, finding her vision, finding the joy in her life again, and not being sad. And she also finds new love. And so this book is so good. You should read it. It's so good. Wait, is anyone watching? Hold on. Is anyone saying anything? Yeah, and I'll share something really good here. Let's see. Also, this live stream is me sharing my joy. So if this is a little bit out of your interest, I hope this expands it inspires you to do something new, or I'm being present with you guys. I'm sharing myself with you guys. Why did I save this? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought if I used a curse word. Okay, I'm gonna read this. I'm just gonna read this part. If it resonates, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know as well. I thought of the 3 men I had loved, and how each of them have changed me, or tried to. Will had left himself indubitably... Okay, so Will is the individual in the wheelchair that decided to take his own life in the previous book, or previous story. I thought of the 3 men I had loved, and how each of them had changed me, or tried to. Will had left himself indubitably imprinted on me. I had seen everything through the prism of what he had wanted for me. I would have changed for you too, Will, and now I understand you probably knew that all along. Live boldly, Clark. Good luck, shouted the Wheel of Fortune host, and spun again, and I realized what I really wanted to do. I spent the next 3 days... Okay, so This me. Okay, this isn't gonna make sense because you guys don't know like Margot and stuff, but that's not a good quote to share. Hold on, because it doesn't really say anything. Okay, so she decides to do assistant work again in New York, and she has a neighbor. She's an old lady, but the old lady is very, very mean to her whenever she sees Louisa. That's her name. And Margot or something happens within the household Louisa works for, and they think that Louisa tried to steal money from them. Oh, and these are like very affluent people in Manhattan. And Louisa was kicked out, but then Margot was really sick, and so somehow Louisa was able to start helping her, and then she ended up staying with Margot, the old lady, and the old lady was really known for her fashion and whatever. She's really, really old. She's like in her 90s or something. And Margot, when Louisa finds out that Margot also has family, because Margot was living alone, she helps reconnect them. And then Margot like gives her this letter when Margot decides to go live with her actual family, like far away. This is a letter that Margot gave to Louisa for her last few months of life, because they found out that Margot, the old lady, doesn't have that much long to live because she was ill. So this is the letter, and I thought it was so touching. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. Let's see. Okay. Wait, why does this sound like... Okay. And now to the important things, Louisa. I didn't thank you in person for finding Vincent. Vincent is the family member her son that she couldn't connect with because they had a miscommunication for a long time. And anyways, okay, so here goes. And now to the important things, Louisa. I didn't thank you in person for finding Vincent, the act of civil disobedience that has brought me so much unexpected happiness. But I'd like to thank you now, and for looking after Dean Martin. Dean Martin is Margot, the old lady's dog, like bulldog. There are a few people I would trust to do as I ask, and love him as I do, but you are one of them. Louisa, you are a treasure. You are always too discreet to tell me the details, but do not let whatever happened with that foolish family next door dim your light. You are a courageous, gorgeous, tremendously kind little creature, and I shall be forever grateful that their loss has been my gain. Thank you. It is in the spirit of things that I'd like to offer you my wardrobe. She has so many collector items. To anyone else except perhaps your rather mercenary friends at that disgusting clothes store, this would be junk. I am well aware of that, but you see my clothes as for what they are. Do with them what you want, keep some, sell some, whatever, but I know you will take pleasure in them. Here are my thoughts. Though I'm well aware nobody really wants the thoughts of an old woman, set up your own agency. Hire them out, or sell them. Those girls seem to think there was money in it. Well, it strikes me that this would be the perfect career for you. There should be enough there for you to start some sort of enterprise, though of course you may have other ideas for your future, far better ones. Will you let me know what you decide? Anyway, dear roommate, I will look forward to receiving news. Please kiss that little dog for me. I miss him so terribly already. With fondest regards, Margot. And then, so that was the letter, and then Louisa, the girl who read that letter, said, or it writes, I put down the letter and sat motionless in the kitchen for a while, then walked through to Margot's bedroom and the dressing room beyond it, surveying the bulging racks, outfit after outfit. A clothes agency? I knew nothing about business, nothing about premises or accounts or dealing with the public. I was living in a city whose rules I didn't entirely understand, with no permanent address, and I had failed in pretty much every job I had ever held. Why on earth would Margot believe that I could set up a whole new enterprise? I ran my fingers down a midnight blue velvet sleeve, then pulled out the garment. Halston, a jumpsuit slashed almost to the waist with a mesh insert. I put it back carefully and took out a dress. White, Brody, Ingles, it skirts a massive ruffles. I walked along that first rail, stunned, daunted. I had only just begun to absorb the responsibility of owning a dog. What was I supposed to do with 3 rooms full of clothes? That night, I sat in Margot's apartment and turned on Wheel of Fortune. I ate the remains of a chicken I had roasted for her last dinner. I didn't hear what Vanna White said or shout out letters of the mystery wedges. I sat and I thought about Margot, what Margot had said to me, and had wondered about the person she had seen. Who was Louisa Clark anyway? Louisa Clark is herself. I was a daughter, a sister, a kind of surrogate mother for a time. I was a woman who cared for others, but who seemed to have little idea even now how to take care of herself. As the glittering wheel spun in front of me, I tried to think about what I really wanted, rather than what everyone else wanted for me. I thought about what Will had really been telling me, not to live some vicarious idea of a full life, but to live my own dream. The problem was, I don't think I'd ever really worked out what that dream was. I thought of Agnes across the corridor, a woman trying to convince everyone that she had shoehorned herself into a new life while some fundamental part of her refused to stop mourning the role she had left behind. So, Agnes, I'm getting really into the book right now. Agnes is the mistress that the family Louisa was taking care of had, and the mistress became the second mom of that household, but she was from a foreign country, and everyone in the family, like the daughter and the son, didn't like her because they were like, oh, you're just with my dad because you wanted to stay in New York and you like his money, blah blah blah, his inheritance. But yeah, so long story short, like, she was comparing her life with hers. I should stop. Oh my gosh, I should so stop. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait, Danny says, this is really cool what you're doing. Glad you're doing well. This is Danny from the... Yeah, so I met Danny at the job fair. We were in San Francisco, and it was it in the end of May? It was in May, and in San Francisco they had a job fair, maybe like full of, I think there was about like 50 employers there, and it was just for University of California alums, so the public schools like UC Irvine, UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC Riverside, like all the UC alums were invited to this event, and so I went there because why not? I tried to go there, and Danny was someone that I've met there, and I'm glad you were able to tune in, Danny. It's really late right now. Oh my gosh, it's already 11:14. I'm only on the 3rd book. Okay, let's see. I want to share another one. So the books that we went over today, Maria Popova's Figuring, definitely check that out. By the way, this is the limited edition. Hello. And then Still Me by Jojo Moyes. Eat, Pray, Love by Liz Gilbert. And also, this is a book that I wanted to share with you guys. I found, or my friend found it, Sarah found it at the Strand in New York, where they have all those carts outside the bookstore, and you could just pick out one and just buy it. This one was $1. This one's called The Rules of Work. I thought it was hilarious. We thought it was hilarious. Ow, my legs are sleeping. Oh my god. My legs are sleeping. I want to read some of this to you guys. It's so funny. Okay, so it's funny because it's so good. It's so simple, so succinct. Let me just show you the contents of this book. Okay, you guys probably can't see. Okay, so contents of the book. Rule 1, walk your talk. Rule 2, know that you're being judged at all times. Rule 3, have a plan. Like, it's so simple, but it's so concise, and it's so it's so funny because it's so good. I don't know how to explain that. If you can't say anything nice, shut up. It literally says that. Look after yourself, blend in, act one step ahead, cultivate diplomacy, note system, milk it. Oh yeah, by the way, I shouldn't be doing this because, wait, hold on. One of the things says don't share this book with anyone. Hold on. It's so funny. Okay, I'm just gonna read the first part of this. This is the underlying rule that governs all the others. Know your job well. do it well and be better than anyone else at doing it. It's that simple. The secret part is to make sure nobody knows how hard you have to work to do it so well. You can do all your learning in secret. I'm literally doing learning with you guys, so whatever. In private. You just don't let on. Don't let anyone know you do this. Whoops. And never ever let anyone know you've read this book. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm reading this book with you guys. It is your secret Bible. Well, you guys could go get this book. The important thing is to look calm and efficient. The important thing is to look calm and efficient. Oh, okay. On top of everything and totally in control. You glide through your daily work with ease and confidence. You are unflappable and unstoppable. Bottom line is, however, you must be really good at your basic job. Okay, well, that's so funny because the author of this book says you should keep this in secret, and I literally just did it on live stream. But I think everyone should have this, so go check it out. It's really cool. It's a simple read, but it's so definingly powerful. Go check it out by Richard Templar. It was from a New York books, the Strand at New York. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, I also shared my favorite book that I've had since middle school, Thesaurus. That's been in my backpack. I have a couple more books here, but I'm just gonna. This book I have gotten in 2010 because that was when I first got into self-help books. This book is transformative in that it's so simple, but it's so mind-blowingly insightful. I forgot about this book until last week. I was reconnecting with one of my best friends, and he mentioned this book, so I remember this book. I'm gonna read through something really fast from it. I'm gonna read you something really fast from it because it's so good. Finding your life underneath your life situation. Okay. I don't see how I can be free now. As it happens, I'm extremely unhappy with my life at the moment. This is a fact, and I would be deluding myself if I tried to convince myself that all is well when it definitely isn't. To me, the present moment is very unhappy. It is not liberating at all. What keeps me going is the hope or possibility of some improvement in the future. You think your attention is in the present moment when it's actually taken up completely by time. You cannot be both unhappy and fully present in the now. What you refer to as your life should be more accurately be called your life situation. It is psychological time, past and future. Certain things in the past didn't go the way you wanted them to go. You are still resisting what happened in the past, and now you're resisting what is. Hope is what keeps you going, but hope keeps you focused on the future. And this continued focus perpetuates your denial of the now and therefore your unhappiness. So that's the type of tone this book has. Extremely insightful, refreshing, helps you shift your mind into focusing on the now, which is like literally what I'm doing right now because joy, I'm focusing on the now. Anyways, check out that book. I also have, I know we're heading into an hour and a half right now, but let's see, what else? What else is good? This is a book that I just started reading, and it's from my brother's book collection. This is called The Energy of Life. I'm gonna read you, I just started reading this book. Let's see, I'm gonna read you a paragraph of this. I read last night, so. Energy is something we all learned about in school. There was kinetic, thermal, potential, and many other different kinds of energy that we studied. But one thing we didn't learn in school is about the energy that exists within and around us. Let's call it vibrational energy. We didn't learn this energy can affect how we think or how we react, and it can even affect what kinds of people and circumstances we have in our lives. If that resonated with you, if that interests you in any way, let's read it together. I'm reading it right now. It's called The Energy of Life by a couple. These couple are by Jimmy and Barbara Lewis. So this is a photo of them. they were on the brink of divorce, and are they on the brink of divorce? What happened? Wait, hold on. I read something that. Okay, I'm just gonna read the back for you because this is how I know this. Barbara and Jimmy Lewis are co-authors of 2 books, The Energy of Life and The Real Miracle. They wrote each book as a way of solidifying what they were learning about life and as a way of sharing what they learned with the rest of the world. When Barbara and Jimmy got together as a couple, they knew instantly that their relationship was to be a vehicle for spiritual awakening. They went to graduate school together and became counseling psychologists with a double major in transpersonal psychology and relationships. When Barbara and Jimmy manifested their vision of living in financial and time freedom, they moved from their busy lives in Houston to a mountain retreat in Northern California. Their remaining time together and how they used their relationship for a spiritual awakening is beautifully expressed in Jimmy's moving account of their lives in his 3rd book, A Holy Relationship, The Memoir of One Couple's Transformation. So I'm currently reading this book. If you guys end up getting this book too, or you're interested, let me know and then we can talk about it together. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop there because we're kind of way past an hour that I have put out for you guys. Oh, and this is like my first poetry book that I actually there's like notes on the back. In grade school no. Was it Shel Silverstein? I forgot what my first poetry book was, but this was one of the first. So I got it from the Scholastic book. What do they call it? You know how like in grade school in California, how they had Scholastic company come to your school and they like bring their huge van with all their new books and their really cool pens and really cool bookmarkers, and then they have it like once a month or something. Well, I got this from there. But You Come to, it's by Robert Frost. I want to read something. Oh my god, when I talk about books, it just takes too much time because I like ramble and stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna look at chat again. Oh, no one's really talking. Okay, everyone, I have been super present with you guys today in this moment of sharing people's writings and my life story. We have 2 more minutes until an hour and 30 minutes. I want to fill that, so in the next 2 minutes I'll just be looking at chat if you guys wanted to talk about anything that I have shared tonight. My leg's sleeping. Okay. Or why don't I just end with a piano tune? For those of you just joining in, we made it to day 6. I'm so excited because I got to share a part of myself that's a little bit, like, I didn't get to share it with a lot of people. It was like a thing that I do on my own, but I got to share it with you guys, so I'm like really excited I got to do that with you guys tonight. I shared some books that I enjoyed reading this year, and I think when I was sharing this book, I got too into it and I forgot I was actually streaming. So, but that's good. Like, we're present together. That's the whole point of this. We're sharing our joy together. I'm gonna play some piano with you guys, and then you guys could let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling right now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna play some tunes though. Just fix the angle here. Yeah. Is my pedal working, guys? My pedal's working, guys. My pedal's not working, it's okay. it's so weird. When I don't press the pedal, it's working. Like if I, okay. Okay, so we have made it to day 6. We have one more question to end the night. James asked, when did I learn piano? I did learn piano when I was like in second grade, like 4th grade, like for months at a time, and it was through my parents, friends, grandma, and mom. And I also occasionally learned like how to read music and stuff from my mom because she used to be a piano teacher in Korea before coming out here after getting married. And so I know like basic foundational like chords, and I also learned for like a month from someone from church when I was in like, when was it, 7th grade? And it was because I wanted to learn how to play piano for church. And I did that for a month and then I stopped because I don't know what happened, but we just stopped. And so but I never really like learned how to play piano for a long time. I think it was always like up to 2 months or, but then, and I always didn't want it. I feared learning from my mom because she would always hit my hand because I didn't understand how each note corresponds with the sheet music, and she thought I was really stupid, and it was just this really not good experience for both of us, so we just stopped. So yeah, but thankfully having band class in school, kind of jamming that experience over and over again helped me understand how to read music with this and flute, and I got it. So yeah, that's how. But for this, like doing this type of piano and stuff, I didn't start like feeling comfortable playing like whatever, like without sheet music until December, when I like just started playing and it sounded like a song, and I'm like, hey, like I feel comfortable just like playing whatever and experimenting. So that's what happened. And I get really grounded, and I feel very happy like finding tunes and just playing freely, and so that's what I'm sharing with you guys. But yeah, that's how. I had so much fun tonight, guys. I like kind of went out of my body and I was just being present. So I felt really happy tonight. If you guys did so, let me know in the comments below. Also, I have a favor to ask you guys. I need your help reaching more subscribers. I also want more people who like this type of content to find me. And so if you guys get help by sharing my YouTube channel and my live streams with your friends or your family, can you do that, please? I'm not pushing this out into like I'm not advertising for it, because I want it to grow organically, and so I'd really appreciate you guys helping me reach people that could also enjoy this time together. So if you guys could do that, that would be great. Also, if you guys don't catch me live on any of these days, you could watch the recording, and you could also comment on the video, and then I'd get to it. So we're all present, we're here, we're learning together, and I'm so happy getting to do this. I'm not that scared as I was on the first day. The first day my energy was everywhere, and I just didn't know how to focus, and I really wanted to like be here, but I was like really scared and I was shaking. But right now I feel very like I'm good. So I think we're learning together. But if you guys have enjoyed it, let me know. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for the next days. This is all open for you guys too. I am here to share myself with you guys, so let me know what you guys think. And please help me reach more subscribers. I want to use Super Chat, which is where we get to have comments pinned to the top, and also you guys are able to help me make probably like maybe someday I could be a full-time YouTuber, so you guys can help me do that, and I get to do Super Chat if I reach 1,000 subscribers. So I would really appreciate your help if you guys push this out to your family and your friends to join us. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice night if you're in California, and yeah. I really hope I didn't get too carried away on today's stream. I do know I wasn't looking at chat the whole time, but I think I covered everyone's chat. Yeah. Tomorrow's topic, let's do this together because we haven't done this before. So tomorrow is day 7. And in my description below for my videos, I have a list of all the like brainstormed, mind mapped concepts that I've picked up from each age. So what I'm doing with this 20-day live challenge is for each day I'm focusing on a topic of the age of that number. So today we focused on 6-year-olds. I decided to focus on reading because 6-year-olds begin to read and comprehend, and they read books. That's why I focused on books today. Tomorrow we're going to focus on age 7. One thing that I picked up from the skimmed Google research that I did was that 7-year-olds get acquainted with routines and they try to stick with the routines. And if something deters from their routine, they're confused. And so I wanted to focus on routines. So maybe you could do routines, but if you guys have any other ideas, let me know. Let's see you guys. So tomorrow I'm going to focus on routines. I don't know what I'll be doing. I was thinking for routines, I show you guys how I work out. And I have to figure out the internet thing if I bring you guys to the gym with me, the fitness center here. But yeah, that's what I'm deciding to do. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think showing you guys workout would be interesting to you and not be in this room? Let me know. What's chemtrails? 어?
안 끝났어?
이제 다 됐어.
애들 저거 마스크 좀 해달라.
마스크?
마스크.
Okay, 5 more minutes. Okay, so we are heading to bed soon, guys. But let me know, yeah, like since we're live together right now, like that would be really cool if you guys get to chip in, like what you guys think would be interesting to watch. I was thinking I could show you my workout, or I could show you like my post-workout routine, because that's something I do every day. I try to work out every day, and I always have my protein shake after my workout. So maybe I could do that. A topic I thought you could discuss. What's chemtrails? By the way, if I'm reacting to your chat late, it's probably because I get it later than you guys post it. So I don't know if that delay is there. I'm looking up chemtrails. Gosh, is this gonna be weird? I don't know what to expect for chemtrails. Is chemtrails in Spanish? Wait, what? Chemtrails? Is that how you pronounce it? Chemtrails? 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 Chemical trails? Well, that's interesting, but yeah, like tomorrow we'll see. I mean, this is a journey for me, like finding what works for me, and yeah, even this live stream thing, I'm trying to fit it into like what my life is like, my lifestyle right now, and it seems like this time, like around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. works for me. I mean, today I've had a longer stream than usual, but end later. But it's gonna constantly change. I'm trying to gauge it, and I'm also, if something doesn't serve me or something doesn't work, I'm kind of at a place in my life where I'm able to kind of be like, no, like that doesn't really work for me. So tomorrow I think I'll be outside of this room. I want to do that. Like I don't always want to be in this room doing the same thing, so I'll do that. Okay, well, okay, so yeah, I do see. I'm not really sure what it is, but I looked up chemtrails and I see that it's a conspiracy theory. I could definitely go over it tomorrow since you've recommended it. Like it's the first suggestion I've had, so thank you. I'll read over it and check it out and see what it is. But yeah, James, so James in the chat wrote something in Korean. He said tomorrow let's go 산책. 산책 is hiking. Around here they don't actually have good, I don't have good phone service, like internet here outside of my home. So I don't know if I could do that, but I'll see what I could do. But tomorrow I definitely want to go through like one of my like habits that I've been doing, like routine like things that I've been doing these past few months or these past couple of weeks. So I want to share something along the lines of that. So we'll focus on that tomorrow. Also, yeah, so I'll do that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I'm so glad you guys could be like present and alive with me tonight. It was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed the stream and our time together, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And definitely feel free to add anything in the comments below, either on this video or on the different days if you get to watch it. And I hope you guys have a good night. Okay, bye guys!